Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm the Chocolate Lover, and on my channel I'll be doing chocolate reviews. Today I'll be doing a brief history of chocolate, and each week I'll be tasting a different chocolate and telling you about the facts of the chocolate. The Olmecs were a race of people in ancient South American times. They were the first ones to find chocolate and tea. They lived around 1500 BC, and they used chocolate for ceremonial drinks. So the Olmecs shared their knowledge to the Mayans. The Mayans still used it for ceremonial drinks, but they also used it for cooking. And they cooked it with peppers, chilies, water, honey. Well, the Aztecs believed that chocolate was given to them by the gods. So they like their hot chocolate like we do, and use it for cold drinks as well. They also used it to trade as well. They used cacao to trade, so because they think the cacao was worth more than gold. And also the Aztec chocolate was mostly enjoyed by the upper class with their parties and their celebrations stuff. But the lower class also enjoyed it, occasionally for weddings and other celebrations. But also, the Aztec leader Montezuma II enjoyed and drank gallons of it. Thought it was an aphrodisiac, and also he gave it to the military as well. So the European palate weren't satisfied of the infamous Aztec drinks. So they were using sugar in the drinks, they used cinnamon, and they used common spices and flavourings like vanilla. In the 1500s, Henry VIII, so during the Tudor times, Henry VIII was drinking dark chocolate, but not what we think of hot like chocolate drinks. They didn't have hardly any sugar in it. It was pure cacao, and it was mostly used for parties, events they had in Hampton Court. In the year 1502, Chris Columbus first discovered cacao beans on an American ship going to divert the ship to Spain. And then in the late 1500s, there was a high demand of chocolate because a lot of people were liking the chocolate and wanted to get it. But unfortunately, during that time, there was the famous slave trade were happening. So slaves were coming from Africa, going to the Americas to work in the cacao plantations to give us the chocolate that we needed. In 1641, in the American colonies, chocolate first arrived in Florida on a Spanish ship, because during that time, Florida was owned by Spain. So by 1682, the first American chocolate shop was opened in Boston. Then, by 1773, just around the War of Independence, cacao beans were a major American colony import, and also chocolate was enjoyed by all classes. In 1828, the Dutch chemist Conrad Jan van Houten, I do apologise if my Dutch said a bit wrong, discovered a way of how to treat the cacao beans with alkaline salts to make a powdered chocolate, which can easily mix with water, which could now make the first hot chocolate. That was known as Dutch processing, and the chocolate was produced cacao powder or Dutch cacao, as some people know. And also the cacao press, which separated the cacao butter from the roasted cacao beans, which cacao butter is used for white chocolate, which is inexpensively and easy to produce the cacao powder for it. In the 19th to 20th century, a British chocolatier known as J.S. Fry and Sons were the first chocolatiers to create a chocolate mould made by paste of sugar, chocolate liqueur, and cacao butter, and that made the first ever chocolate bar. And so by 1876, a Swiss chocolatier called Daniel Peter was generally created by adding the first milk chocolate, one of the first Swiss milk chocolate. By 1879, into the Swiss chocolate. The Swiss chocolatier known as Rudolf Lindt, as viewers may know as one of the finest chocolates in Switzerland, invented a Couch machine which mixed and aerated the chocolate. If anyone's ever eaten Lindt chocolate, you know how luxurious and how it melts into your mouth. The Swiss chocolatier Lindt actually made that process to make it. So by the 20th century, chocolate families, all popping up all over the place. There's Mars, there's Cadbury's, there's Hershey's, there's also Nestle, and that increased the growing demand of chocolate that we know today.